Brandon Carter as of right there. Yo, what up, what up? Yo, what up, what up? This big boy Darion Terry. I'll try to talk like Brandon Carter real quick. Yo, what up, what up? This is big boy Darion Terry as of right now. Coming back at you, as you can go ahead and see. No. But love Brandon Carter. Brandon Carter's doing his thing. Huge things going on right now on Fightcast. As you guys know, UFC 206 went ahead and unwrapped last week, and we also have Fight Night that just went ahead and went down with Paige Van Zandt going against the Karate Hottie that was highlighted. The Karate Hottie did her dirty. But before we go ahead and break through with that, I want to go ahead and get in the UFC 206 because basically it was action-packed. I didn't get a chance to go ahead and shoot a real quick vid right afterwards. Been super busy, and so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a highlight on Fight Talk. No, it's actually Fightcast, but I like doing Fight Talk too. But Fightcast, episode Trizzles, and it's about to go down in the dizzles. So here's the thing. We watched UFC 206, and we went ahead and we saw the action that went ahead and unfolded. As you can see, Anthony Pettis was basically overwhelmed. Broke his hand in the first round, though. Anthony Pettis is always going to be one of my role models. Always going to be one of my mentors, one of my idols. I love that guy to death. He broke his hand in the first round and was not able to go ahead and compete the same way. Now, the thing is about the whole ordeal, Max Blessed Holloway was getting the better of the exchanges anyway inside of this bout. Max Holloway basically was able to go ahead and see a lot of things that were happening inside the fight. As it unfolded, as the rounds unfolded, Blessed was just getting the better of the striking. All throughout, and it was just so hard for timing to go ahead and come into play. Now, I'm definitely going to say this, with a broken hand, you're just not going to be able to go and be the same. Okay, I mean, it's just the way it is. The thing is about it is that those things happen. The 3 pounds that Anthony Pettis was overweight, I think right there was when he lost the fight. Basically, when you come in, you're 3 pounds overweight, you're already super exhausted, you're probably talking about sauna time, all the running that was involved before you even got on the scale, the hectic nature of knowing that you're not going to make weight and you can't get these last 3 pounds off, cotton mouth, all the things that go ahead and come in the past. When your body is dry, you're done with liquids, and you just can't go ahead and lose another 1/10 of a pound. He lost the fight right there. Okay, his body was probably brittle out there. He probably felt very weak. He threw a jab or a cross, and basically, boom, all of a sudden your hand's broken because you just have no electrolytes inside of your body. They just can't go ahead and keep it there, and you just feel brittle. You feel belittled. You just don't feel the same after cutting weight like that. I'm against cutting weight. I've competed since I was 12 years old. Since I was 12 years old, competed in wrestling, 4-time All-American, collegiate All-American, D2, and competed in fighting for the last 6 years. And it sucks, man. Cutting weight sucks. It really does. It just sucks. But the thing is about it is, Anthony Pettis wouldn't make that move down to 45 just because he had that 3-fight skid, and these are the consequences. I think that basically what he wants to do is keep himself heavy, keep himself looking and feeling great, and compete his best at 155 pounds. So it's a learning experience, and that's what happens. In the undercard at UFC 206, we had some really great bouts. As you see, Donald Cerrone went ahead and made a breakout and knockout, basically hitting about 4 to 5 different flush head kicks. Dude, Brown just kind of took the first 3 like they were nothing. He ate them like a champ. He ate them like they were Wheaties. Okay, the thing is about that, you just can't take that for 3 rounds. Okay, Donald Cerrone, he's very elusive about his striking. You can't go ahead and just take flush head kicks that you don't see coming. Okay, shin to mouth, shin to chin, shin to nose, shin to anything, shin to dome. It just doesn't bode well. Okay, and oh man, the immortal Matt Brown's, he's amazing. Oh my gosh, he could take some damage, and he was given damage. Had 2 knockdowns over Donald Cerrone into the first round and inside the second round. The thing is about it though, all those hits caught up. They all caught up, and that's the thing is about it though. When you get lit up that much in a fight, I mean, it's just a matter of time, man, especially when you're not covering up. You got to cover up against guys like Donald. You got to cover up. You got to have a good defense. This guy throws hard. This guy throws heavy. And this guy throws often. Okay, and he pushes you. And you just can't just be out there just trying to go blow for blow with this guy. You need to block and then hit him. Like he's accurate. He's extremely accurate as a striker, and he aims to finish you every single time. That's what I love about Donald Cerrone. That's why Donald Cerrone's popularity is so up there, because he really does aim to finish you. Great bout. As you can see, Cerrone went ahead and came out the victor inside of that bout, inside of a third round. It was about 48 seconds inside the third round of a knockout. Oh my God, that was so vicious. Oh man. But fight of the night, you guys already know. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Cub Swanson and your boy from Korea, Do Ho Choi. When I was I'm trying to go ahead. Let me make sure I pronounce it. Yeah, that was definitely fight of the night winner, Do Ho Choi. And you know what? Judges went ahead and scored. This was 30-27, 29-28, and a 30-27 for the winner, Cub Swanson. Here's the great thing about this bout right here. It was epic. Every single round was epic. All 3 rounds was absolute bloodshed. There was a lot of just pure, unadulterated violence inside of this fight, and a lot of non-blocking from both guys. Both guys used their chins to block most of the strikes. And so here's the thing about that whole ordeal. You get these guys that are go ahead and using their chin to go ahead and block strikes itself, but you get a great bout out of it. We like to see it all. We want to see it all. We want to see the bloodshed. We want to see the damage. We want to see fighters that could actually go ahead and take punches a lot too. Okay, and see, that's the thing. For De Hoy, basically this being his first mainstream fight, it really went ahead and showed a lot of character. It showed a lot of toughness. He showed a lot of chin. And, he just showed that he's up there. He can go ahead and compete. You're talking about the top 5 guy inside of 145 pounds up in Cub Swanson as of right now. And Ho Choi is about it. He's doing it. He's doing it. In the first round, he was all over Cub Swanson. All right, but the thing is about it, though, Cub's a proven competitor. He's a proven winner. He's a proven champion. He's a warrior. Okay, and so he rose to the occasion. He was able to fill the Ho Choi out throughout the rounds and go ahead and get the better of him, start piecing him up and getting the better of him, and start really believing in his striking once he got his timing down. And man, he rung his bell multitudes of times. I'm looking at the significant strikes landed as of right now. There was 111 significant strikes landed by Cub Swanson in this bout. Okay, to Do Ho Choi 77. Okay, so you're talking about 111, and these significant strikes weren't like normal significant strikes. They were like, oh my God, why did I get hit in the face like that? It was really terrifying to watch Do Ho Choi take that much damage. This guy's young, has a great chin. I hope he doesn't wear it out. The great thing about this bout also is that it just was a battle. It looked like just some type of epic battle scene at the end of an action-packed movie, like I was watching The Matrix or some shit. It was pretty fucking epic. And so, great fight coming from those competitors is right there. As you can see, Cub Swanson is still very relevant right now today. And I think that basically, like he said inside the bout after he got done winning, I'm still learning. And you could definitely go ahead and see that from him. Definitely should probably protect his chin a little bit more in that bout. And in bouts to come. But guy can do it all. He needs to definitely work on his takedown defense going forth. Obviously, that has been something that's rendered him suspect, I'd say, in the past. Okay, moving in to Gastelum versus Kennedy. Kelvin Gastelum made a big no-no on the New York card when he missed weight. Was supposed to go ahead and face off against Donald Cowboy Cerrone, and as you can see, that weight cut got to him. 170 pounds is not his weight class anymore, stated by the owner, Dana White. So he's going to be at 185 from now on, and he made a debut of his life. He pieced up Tim Kennedy on his feet. He out-wrestled Tim Kennedy, and he beat him to a bloody pulp. A bloody pulp. It was a very solid victory. Kelvin really did not look at all threatened by Tim Kennedy's wrestling at all. Against the Marine, he just did not look, it was just an ass beating. First round, basically Kennedy did a really good job of basically keeping this guy off of him with the wrestling and things such as that. But once Kelvin figured out basically how he wrestled, he just overwhelmed him. He just totally overwhelmed him. Total significant strikes landed was 62 from Gastelum, 62 out of 110. We're talking about 45 landed by Tim Kennedy, and great significant strikes landed by Kelvin Gastelum. Actually, Tim Kennedy was actually go ahead and manage 3 out of 8 takedowns that he got. I mean, obviously that's not the best, but in a fight it is. And then 0 takedowns were attempted by Kelvin Gastelum. He was just trying to piece him up the whole time, so it was an obvious piece up match. Basically, inside the 3rd round, this fight was finished. And so, you got to go ahead and look at things like that. Winner by KO, by TKO was Kelvin Gastelum. Inside the 3rd round, he pieced up a guy that was just bigger than him, just a bigger guy. We're going to go ahead and see how Kelvin does up against the real 185-pounders. I would like to see him against guys like Chris Weidman, coming off a loss, basically, to Yoel Romero. I would like to see him against guys like Jakar Souza. He needs to be against top level guys to go ahead and see how he matches up against them. And at 185 pounds, I think he's very young, and so he has a long career ahead of him, and he could prove himself every bout. He's got a country behind him. So Mexico stands up every time he gets out there and fights, and he puts on a hell of a show, which with knockouts over Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger, beating the hell out of Johnny Hendricks. The sky's the limit for this guy. Especially in his young career, he's beaten former champions. So, sky's definitely a limit for him. Win all 3 rounds. With Tyron Woodley, was able to go ahead and have a good striking war even with him. There's not too many people that can go all 3 rounds with Tyron Woodley. I think there's only been a couple. So, when you go ahead and look at that, whoever loses the Woodley fight, Woodley and Stephen Thompson, when they brawl again, he could be up there after another 1 or 2 wins. He could be right there going against that. And so we'll see exactly what happens with Kelvin Gastelum at 185 pounds. Going further along here and just going to that 4th round, that 4th bout that was on the card. Actually, this 5th bout. Emil Meek versus Jordan Mein. Jordan Mein went ahead and came out of retirement and came into this fight. You know what? Jordan Mein is one of the most accurate strikers I've ever seen in my life. Very accurate, can do extreme fucking damage on his feet. Basically, he just didn't strike enough. I'm looking at significant strikes as of right now. He, 34, now get these numbers right. 34 significant strikes were landed by Jordan Mein out of 61 strikes itself, right? So, you got to go ahead and look at it like this. He only threw 62 strikes in the whole bout. All right, 3 rounds. He threw 62 strikes. Now, his counterpart, Emil Meek, the fucking axe murderer right here from Norway, threw 133 strikes. Okay, so obviously, with that output, you're going to go ahead and get a higher striking ratio. He ended up landing 50 of those 133 out there, and those 50 were really hard hits. Emil hits hard as a fucking brick. All right, so, and this guy's cut up for 170 pounds. He looks huge for 170 pounds. I can't believe he actually weighs 170 pounds. But if you check on Emil Meek, Google him. Just Google him and look at images, just so you can see how freakishly huge this guy is. It's really weird. It's really big. He's a huge guy for 170 pounds. Crazy beard. They made him actually shave the beard for that bout because he just has a huge uncontrollable beard. This is something they're just now starting. Obviously, people have been having huge beards in the UFC for the longest time. But anyways, great bout. You're talking about 50 strikes went ahead and landed. So he landed the more significant strikes itself. Definitely a lesser of a percentage. Okay, but at the same time, though, he just landed more. Okay, so he actually landed only at a 37% significant strikes ratio. But he landed 50 to 34. Okay, and there's just not a lot of output by Jordan Mein. You want to see more output to go ahead. The fight came down to 28-29 on every judge's scorecard. Close fight still. Jordan just didn't do enough to win the fight. I didn't see the hunger in him. Jordan got a lot of good takedowns. He was trying to take it to the ground a lot, which it looked like the fight was about to go that way, but which kind of was crushing because Emil ended up taking him down and keeping him down. And so you want to go ahead and be the guy that dominates. If you're going to dominate with takedowns and ground and pounding, you got to dominate the whole time. You know, you don't want to just dominate, here and there. Yeah, just fucking take it to him. So crazy fight inside of those rounds as of right there. Great bouts. Definitely went ahead and loved the action-packed scenarios there and the scene, how it's going to go ahead and shape up with UFC 206. We do know that Max Holloway is fighting again, I believe, on February 10th. Let me see if that's February 10th when they're going to go ahead and do that bout against Jose Aldo. I know that, let me see here. That's going to go ahead and be, they're kind of still putting the card together. But we do know, let me see, what is the UFC 208? I'm about to take a look at the UFC 208, see what they have solidified on the card now. UFC 208 is gonna, that's Holly Holmes versus Jermaine D. Randami. Oh, dude, that's the fight that Cyborg got screwed out of. But she did it to herself, though, man. I'm not even gonna, Cyborg refused to take 2 bouts. She says she basically couldn't make weight by that time frame. Okay, so we're talking about Saturday, February 11th. As of right now, Cyborg said in December, I cannot make 145 pounds by February 11th. I can't make 145 pounds. You were signed to fight at 135 pounds inside the UFC. You were signed to fight at that weight class. That's why you're fighting catch weights. All your fights in UFC have been catch weights. What do you mean you can't make weight in 8 weeks? You have 8 weeks to make weight. What do you mean? What do you mean? She says, I want to give my body a rest. Well, you fought in September. Okay? All right, so, that's the 9th month of the year. So we're talking about 10, 11, 12. That's your rest. You got 3 months off. Okay, now you really got 5 months off. Okay, because you're not talking about fighting until February. All right, so what do you mean? All right, so, Joe Silva, matchmaker for UFC, was just like, well, if she can't make that in 2 months, then 145 pounds is not the weight class for her, which is true. It's not the weight class for her, and so, she just needs to be realistic about that, about her cuts. And with her employer, if you got deadlines that you're supposed to meet, then you need to make those deadlines. Then you can't go ahead. You're talking about fighting for a belt. You're finally getting your dream to come true. Okay, she always talks they don't favor me. They look past me. All right, well, they gave you this opportunity. It's not like they said you got to make it in a week. All right, which fighters do all the time that are hungry. All right, so, but, just be realistic. Just be realistic about it. You need to be there. You need to go ahead and be a part of this. And the best way to go ahead and be a part of it is 2 months time, and you can't make 145 pounds. You've been fighting that for Invicta the whole time. What do you mean you can't make it? You've been fighting that for Invicta for all those years. I don't get it. So, we go into, so that bout's going to go down. I was talking about that whole ordeal when he's going to go ahead and fight. I know it's going to be in February. We'll stay tuned for that, though. We'll stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and go right into this Michelle Waterson and versus Paige Van Zandt. What a great fight as of that was, but it was a definitely an unraveling for Paige Van Zandt. It was like a wake-up call for her as she went ahead and lost basically the bout. She got mushed, headlocked, and beat down and choked out, and it was not cool. Michelle Waterson won by submission. She was in total dominance and control over that bout the whole time. Significant strikes were only 12 out of 17, basically for Michelle Waterson, and 5 out of 12 for Paige Van Zandt. But as you can see, the mushing that took place basically with Paige, that headlock that she got hit in was textbook. And then after that, it was just a total belittling of her character out there. And so, that can happen in fights. That happens when people get beat up. So she got beat up, and she ended up going ahead and getting choked out as of right there. Michelle Waterson is thicker than a snicker. Man, she looks so good out there. I like Michelle Waterson. The karate hottie, she got it going on. But, great fight. Michelle Waterson, once she got her back, it was curtains. It was Dundies. It was just a whole nother world out there for Paige. And Paige is young. Basically, she's been on Dance with the Stars. So she's got a lot of fame. She's got a lot of people. She got a lot of backers. She's got a lot of followers. Paige has a lot going on for her as of right now, and so she can go ahead and do a lot of things inside of this game. I know she's going to go ahead and bounce back. She's one of the younger UFC up and comers that's got a lot of backing, and so is Sage Northcutt, who fought right before her previously. And as you go ahead and see inside that bout, Sage was actually, I believe that he was winning the striking game. Let's go ahead and look at the significant strikes actually landed inside this bout. So there was 13 significant strikes landed on behalf of Sage Northcutt compared to Mickey Gall's 9, which is really cool. Sage looks like he walked out of fucking a gladiator cathedral or something, He just Sage Northcutt, he just looks stupid. He's stupidly huge. I can't believe he looks like that. He's only like 20 years old. So, Sage got a lot of time left in the UFC. Enormous times left in the UFC. As for Mickey Gall, of course, he does as well. Another young up-and-comer. And so we went ahead and saw a great brawl, but there's a difference on the ground. And that's what Mickey Gall showcased as of right there. There's a huge difference on the ground. Once Sage got hit, he got clipped in the back of the head, got seated on his butt. He panicked and shot in, thought that Mickey was going for him, because Mickey did start running for him, and he was. But the thing is about it, though, is that he should have kept the fight standing. And for you to shoot in on a guy that with that high of a level of jiu-jitsu, he ended the first round and on his back with Mickey Gall in full mount position. You can't do that to a guy. You can't shoot in on guys that have that good of jits over you. I mean, you should never get full mounted. So for him to go ahead and get full mounted in the first round and in the match like that, you already know the threat that Mickey Gall is. Mickey Gall is not too much of a threat on his feet. He's more of a threat on the ground. If Mickey Gall got against a really good striker, I think he'd get exposed. But the thing is about it, Mickey Gall has great takedowns. He was able to go ahead and push the pace with his takedowns, and he was able to go ahead and close off the cage and actually go ahead and get the submission. So great fight by Mickey Gall. He has a lot going for him, man. He's a cool cat. He's a cool cat. What the hell is this tattoo that he has on himself? I have no clue. But Mickey Gall is very, very great fighter. Okay, so then we go ahead and go into, I think it's a fucking ram or something. He's a weird fucking tattoo on his leg. Who cares? But anyways, now we're going to go Uriah Faber's last fight. This guy has given so much to the sport. Basically, I followed him all throughout his life. And definitely go ahead and love Uriah Faber. Go ahead and hats off to him, man. Such a long career. So promising, so great, so amazing. And, dude, I can't say enough about this guy, man. I can't say enough about Uriah Faber, man. He really has. He has blessed this sport. First guy that I knew that had such a business mindset when it comes to fighting. You know what I'm saying? He actually bought a house and he just rented out like all these rooms to fighters that were up and coming, and had them live with him basically. And that's how he started Team Alpha Male. And so these fighters came from all across the country. And he gave them a dwelling place. He gave them a gym. He gave them training. He gave them all of these things. And so what a great leader that he's been in the sport. What a great entrepreneur, a trendsetter. This guy, you can't say enough words about him. I can't say enough compliments about this guy and what he's done to the sport. So great bout as of right there. Uriah Faber wins by, he beat the fuck out of Pickett all 3 rounds. Let me look how many significant strikes this guy got. 70 significant strikes landed to 18. 70. Okay, so he was all over him. Just a big beatdown. Otherwise than that, basically, guys, go ahead and tune in. We're going to go ahead and go to the next show. Up and coming. Okay, as you guys know about this UFC 207 Nunes versus Ronda Rousey. That fight's about to go ahead and come up. They're really trying to hype Ronda Rousey's comeback here. We're going to go ahead and see exactly how she comes back from 14 months removed from competition and 14 months removed from her fall. And so we're going to go ahead and see if she can go ahead and come back strong. She does have a very strong push coming into this fight. A lot of people want to go ahead and see her win. A lot of Ronda Rousey followers out there. Ronda Rousey is definitely needs to win this bout if she wants to go and continue her career. Just by the way that she's transcended the sport, and so she just doesn't. I think for her, she just doesn't really want to do it as much as all the other fighters do. But she's really good, and she has a lot of followers. So yeah, we'll see what happens coming up here, and I'll go ahead and keep you tuned in. That's going to be December 30th, Friday, December 30th. And so stay tuned here for another episode of Fightcast. I go ahead and take you through the preliminaries of that bout that we're going to go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look at the schedule before we go ahead and tune out and go ahead and see what fights have also been solidified on that card. UFC 207 is going to go ahead and feature Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes. Also, it's going to go ahead and feature Dominick Cruz defending his title against a fierce and a very scrappy and a hard-hitting Cody Garbrandt. We're going to go and see exactly how that happens there. Basically, both those guys are pretty damn good. You're talking about a 10-0 Cody Garbrandt has yet to be stopped, has yet to lose against a 22-1 Dominick Cruz. The only person that has beat Dominick Cruz is no longer the UFC. We are in favor. Wordum is back. Revicio Verdum is going to be fighting Cain Velasquez, and that bout is taking place. Man, that's a good bout to watch. I'm loving that like fucking potato chips. We got TJ Dillashaw coming up against John Lineker, the number 1 versus the number 2 at 135 pounds. We're going to go ahead and see exactly how that bout goes. John Lineker has some crazy ass tattoos. Check him out. He's got a full sleeve going. The great thing about this whole John Lineker fight against TJ Dillashaw, John Lineker brings it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and see exactly. TJ Dillashaw, though, is he's too smooth, bruh. He's too smooth. I got TJ Dillashaw inside that fight. A little bit too smooth for John Lineker. But definitely a great bout to watch. As I hear folks on the undercard, even the prelims are smoking hot. Johnny Hendricks, number 6, Big Rig, is about to be taking on Neil Magny. I actually fought Neil Magny. Yeah, you can Google it. But yeah, and so that's going to be a great bout. 17-5, Johnny Hendricks against 18-6, Neil Magny. And then, we got Kim Jong-dong against Tariq Safatim. Dong Yong Kim. Versus Tariq Safadine. Great prelims here, man. Great prelims. And so, yeah, definitely tune in, guys. We'll go ahead and be back on another episode of Fightcast, the best place to get MMA online. We'll see you guys soon. I'm out.